It always begins in the garden. Every house in Wilbrooke has one. White fences, neat rows of roses, marigolds and lilies. The kind of flowers you'd see in postcards, the kind you'd think never wilt. But neighbors whisper that her garden, the housewife on Arbor Lane, was different. Her flowers didn't just bloom, they obeyed. She was always there at dusk, kneeling in her spotless dress, gloved hands sunk into the soil. The sound of children laughing carried through the street. And yet no one remembers seeing her children anymore. At first people said it was discipline. She was devoted. She never missed a Sunday service. She never let her roses droop. And every night at exactly 6, she knelt, hands folded, as if praying to the dirt itself. The neighbors admired her perfection, but then they noticed the shadow. It didn't follow the light. When the street lamps flickered on, her shadow bent the other way. Longer, heavier, darker than it should have been. Sometimes it swayed even when she stood perfectly still. No one wanted to admit they noticed. In Wilbrooke, we keep up appearances. We smile, we wave, we clip our hedges. But someone always sees. One evening, a little girl, one of the last still playing outside, asked her mother why the garden shadow was whispering. The mother hushed her, pulled her inside, and locked the door. The next day, the family was gone. The curtains drawn. A for sale sign appeared before sunrise. Still, the housewife worked. Still, the flowers obeyed. And still, the shadow grew. Some neighbors say they saw her lips moving in rhythm with the church bells, but not in prayer. A chant, soft and steady, as the rosary beads in her hands slipped like seeds into the dirt. Others swore that on Good Friday, the shadow was the only thing that knelt, and that it bowed deeper than any human ever could. This would have been dismissed as superstition, except for what happened on the Feast of the Dead. The garden bloomed out of season. Bougainvillea spilled over the fences, roses cracked through the pavement, lilies sprouted in the seams of doors. The whole street smelled sweet, cloying, suffocating. And behind her, the shadow no longer resembled her at all. It stood taller, its hands were longer, and where its eyes should have been, 2 red lights burned. Some swore it smiled. Neighbors crossed themselves. They whispered prayers, half remembered from childhood. But in Wilbrooke, prayers don't always go where you think they do. The final time anyone saw her was the night the choir sang. The voices of children rose from nowhere, chanting words too old to recognize. Lights flickered down the block. Curtains pulled shut all at once, and when they opened the next morning, the garden was empty. No housewife, no gloves, just rows of roses, standing too tall, swaying though there was no wind. Her house was reassigned within the week. A new family moved in. They smiled, waved, and promised to keep up the garden, but anyone walking down Arbor Lane swears the flowers lean toward you, as if listening, as if waiting, and if you stop too long at the fence, you'll see it. Not the housewife, not her perfect smile, but the shadow, and this time it's looking right at you.